On a freezing New Year's Eve, a homeless man stands outside a skyscraper, watching celebrations through frosted glass. He makes a vow to change his life. 1 year later, he returns, not as a spectator, but as the building's new owner. Introduction. Liam Carter sits on a weathered park bench, clutching a tattered blanket as the icy wind sweeps through the city streets. Once a promising entrepreneur with a fledgling tech startup, Liam now spends his days in anonymity, drowned by the noise of a bustling world that has forgotten him. His downfall came suddenly. A major investor pulled out during a market crash, leaving him with insurmountable debts and no safety net. Now, with each passing day, survival feels like an uphill battle. His possessions, a worn-out backpack, a pair of gloves with frayed edges, and a small notebook filled with sketches of ideas, are all he has left. Liam scribbles in this notebook whenever he finds inspiration, jotting down plans and quotes to keep his hope alive. On New Year's Eve, Liam wanders to the city's financial district. He stops outside a sleek glass-walled office tower, Marshall and Company. He remembers this building all too well. It was here, 3 years ago, that his proposal for a groundbreaking app was dismissed without consideration. Gazing at the illuminated windows, he watches employees laugh and toast to their success. "Next year will be different," he whispers. The words are faint, but resolute. As midnight approaches, the streets empty, leaving Liam alone under the flickering glow of a street lamp. He flips through his notebook, landing on a blank page. With a trembling hand, he writes, "New Year's resolution. Build a life I can be proud of." For the first time in months, a flicker of hope sparks within him. The next morning, Liam's resolve is tested immediately. With the little cash he's saved from odd jobs, he buys a used suit at a thrift store and heads to a local diner. There, he picks up dishwashing shifts in exchange for meals and small tips. It's exhausting, but it's a start. In his free hours, Liam immerses himself in the public library, devouring books on business strategy and self-improvement. He scribbles ideas in his notebook, refining plans for a new venture. Despite his determination, setbacks persist. On one particularly grueling day, Liam overhears 2 employees mocking him as he washes dishes. Their words sting, but he clenches his fists and reminds himself of his vow. 1 year, he thinks. I just need 1 year. On the other side of the city, Ethan Marshall, CEO of Marshall and Company, sips champagne at a rooftop New Year's Eve party. Known for his sharp instincts and ruthless decisions, Ethan has turned his company into an industry leader. Yet, beneath the polished exterior lies a man increasingly detached from humanity. His focus on profit margins and efficiency has alienated his employees, and his personal life is an afterthought. As fireworks light up the night sky, Ethan's assistant, Clara, approaches with a clipboard. "We've finalized the layoffs for next quarter," she says. Ethan barely reacts, waving her off as he scans the skyline. For him, success is measured in numbers, and the lives behind those numbers are insignificant. What Ethan doesn't realize is that one of those lives will soon intertwine with his own. His company's dismissal of Liam's proposal years ago marked the start of the homeless man's downward spiral. Now, as their paths inch closer to collision, both men are unaware of the transformative journey awaiting them, one fueled by determination and the unlikeliest of second chances. Liam's days become a blur of relentless effort and quiet resolve. At night, he sketches out business plans in the dim light of a public library, fueled by memories of his former success. His latest idea is simple but impactful, an online platform connecting freelance workers with small businesses. It's a concept born from his struggles and the gaps he's observed while seeking odd jobs. Despite his progress, Liam is constantly reminded of his precarious situation. One bitterly cold evening, he finds himself without shelter after arriving too late at a crowded homeless center. Sitting on a bench, he pulls out his notebook and writes a quote from memory. Rock bottom is the solid foundation on which I will rebuild my life. The words resonate deeply, giving him the strength to carry on. Meanwhile, at Marshall and Company, tensions simmer. Employees grow discontented with Ethan's relentless pursuit of profits, and whispers of dissatisfaction reach Clara. She approaches Ethan with an idea to improve morale, a community outreach initiative to sponsor small businesses. Ethan dismisses it, brushing aside her concerns. But Clara, undeterred, quietly begins planning an event that will soon change everything. On the other side of the city, Ethan Marshall, CEO of Marshall and Company, sips champagne at a rooftop New Year's Eve party. Known for his sharp instincts and ruthless decisions, Ethan has turned his company into an industry leader. Yet, beneath the polished exterior lies a man increasingly detached from humanity. His focus on profit margins and efficiency has alienated his employees, and his personal life is an afterthought. As fireworks light up the night sky, Ethan's assistant, Clara, approaches with a clipboard. "We've finalized the layoffs for next quarter," she says. Ethan barely reacts, waving her off as he scans the skyline. For him, success is measured in numbers, and the lives behind those numbers are insignificant. What Ethan doesn't realize is that one of those lives will soon intertwine with his own. His company's dismissal of Liam's proposal years ago marked the start of the homeless man's downward spiral. Now, as their paths inch closer to collision, both men are unaware of the transformative journey awaiting them, one fueled by determination and the unlikeliest of second chances. Liam's days become a blur of relentless effort and quiet resolve. At night, he sketches out business plans in the dim light of a public library, fueled by memories of his former success. His latest idea is simple but impactful: an online platform connecting freelance workers with small businesses. It's a concept born from his struggles and the gaps he's observed while seeking odd jobs. Despite his progress, Liam is constantly reminded of his precarious situation. One bitterly cold evening, he finds himself without shelter after arriving too late at a crowded homeless center. Sitting on a bench, he pulls out his notebook and writes a quote from memory. "Rock bottom is the solid foundation on which I will rebuild my life." The words resonate deeply, giving him the strength to carry on. Meanwhile, at Marshall and Company, tensions simmer. Employees grow discontented with Ethan's relentless pursuit of profits, and whispers of dissatisfaction reach Clara. She approaches Ethan with an idea to improve morale, a community outreach initiative to sponsor small businesses. Ethan dismisses it, brushing aside her concerns. But Clara, undeterred, quietly begins planning an event that will soon change everything. The new year brings fresh determination for Liam. He wakes up early every morning, juggling dishwashing shifts and freelance gigs while refining his business idea. Using the savings he's painstakingly accumulated, Liam secures a second-hand laptop and begins building the platform himself. With no formal office or resources, he sets up shop at the public library, coding during the day and networking in the evenings. Liam's first break comes when he meets Sarah, the owner of a struggling flower shop. She's on the verge of closing down after her website fails to attract customers. Moved by her story, Liam offers to help at no charge. In a week, he designs a sleek, user-friendly website and develops a social media strategy for her. Within a month, Sarah's sales double. She refers Liam to other small business owners, and word of his expertise begins to spread. Meanwhile, Ethan's world grows increasingly chaotic. Employee dissatisfaction escalates, leading to a PR crisis when an anonymous employee posts a scathing review of the company's toxic culture on social media. Clara once again urges Ethan to engage with the community to restore trust. Reluctantly, Ethan approves a local entrepreneurship seminar, brushing it off as a token gesture to silence critics. The seminar becomes a turning point for both men. Clara, eager to find fresh talent, invites Liam to share his story. When the day arrives, Liam steps onto the stage, his nervousness replaced by a quiet confidence. He speaks candidly about his struggles, from losing everything to finding purpose in helping others. His words resonate deeply with the audience, earning a standing ovation. Ethan, sitting in the back, watches in stunned silence. He recognizes Liam instantly, the man whose proposal he dismissed years ago. As Liam exits the stage, surrounded by eager attendees, Ethan is struck by an unfamiliar pang of regret. Clara notices his expression and comments, "Sometimes, the best ideas come from the people we overlook." Ethan remains silent, but resolves to learn more about Liam. Liam's business begins to flourish after the seminar. He secures new clients, including a bakery chain and a local nonprofit, and his platform gains traction among small businesses. Despite his success, he remains grounded, using his earnings to help others in need. He hires a small team of freelance developers, prioritizing those who've faced similar hardships. As Liam's reputation grows, so do the challenges. A major corporation takes notice of his success and approaches him with a lucrative buyout offer. The deal could secure his financial future, but it comes with a catch. They want full control of his platform, potentially jeopardizing its mission of supporting small businesses. Liam agonizes over the decision, knowing it could shape the future of his venture. At the same time, Ethan grapples with his own internal conflict. Inspired by Liam's story, he begins reevaluating his leadership style. He schedules one-on-one meetings with employees to hear their grievances, a gesture met with cautious optimism. Clara encourages him to take it a step further by visiting local businesses to understand their challenges. Though skeptical, Ethan agrees, unaware of how these interactions will shift his perspective. Liam decides to decline the buyout offer. The corporation's representatives are surprised, insisting that the deal is his best chance to secure wealth and stability. But Liam's vision is clear. His platform exists to empower small businesses, not to pad corporate profits. The rejection earns him both admiration and criticism in the industry, but Liam remains steadfast, focusing on building his brand with integrity. Around the same time, Ethan takes his first steps into the world beyond his office walls. At Clara's insistence, he visits small businesses in the city, places like Sarah's flower shop and the bakery Liam once helped. Though initially uncomfortable, Ethan begins to notice the passion and resilience of the people he meets. At one bakery, he listens as the owner describes how Liam's platform helped save her business. Ethan is struck by the realization that Liam's work has accomplished more meaningful change than his own company's recent efforts. Meanwhile, Liam's mentorship program gains momentum. He organizes workshops to teach aspiring entrepreneurs the basics of business management and digital marketing. At one session, a young participant, Marcos, shares his dream of opening a food truck. Moved by his determination, Liam offers to mentor him personally, helping him draft a business plan and connect with investors. Marcos's progress reignites Liam's belief in the power of his work. As Liam's influence grows, so does the pressure. A rival entrepreneur, envious of Liam's rising success, begins spreading rumors about the sustainability of his platform. The whispers reach potential clients, causing some to hesitate in signing on. Undeterred, Liam addresses the rumors head-on, hosting a live Q&A session to discuss his platform's operations and future goals. His transparency earns him respect and loyalty, solidifying his reputation as a leader of integrity. Ethan's journey of self-discovery continues as he becomes more involved in the community. One evening, he attends a panel discussion featuring small business owners, including Sarah and Marcos. As they share their stories, Ethan realizes how disconnected he's been from the people his company could serve. Clara notices the change in his demeanor and encourages him to act on his newfound insights. Ethan decides to reach out to Liam directly. He drafts an email, acknowledging their past encounter and expressing interest in collaborating on a project to support small businesses. When Liam receives the email, he's taken aback. Memories of his humiliating pitch at Marshall and Company come flooding back. He debates ignoring the message, but Clara's words from the seminar echo in his mind. Sometimes, the best ideas come from the people we overlook. Reluctantly, Liam agrees to meet Ethan for coffee. Their initial interaction is tense, marked by polite formalities and guarded expressions. Ethan apologizes for dismissing Liam's proposal years ago, admitting, "I was so focused on numbers that I forgot the value of ideas." Liam listens, but doesn't offer forgiveness just yet. Instead, he counters with a question. Why now? Ethan explains how his recent experiences have shifted his perspective. He proposes a partnership, one that combines Liam's innovative approach with Marshall & Co.'s resources to create a program for small business growth. Liam is skeptical, but agrees to consider the offer, sensing an opportunity to expand his impact. After their tense first meeting, Liam reviews Ethan's proposal carefully. The partnership could provide valuable resources for expanding his platform, but he struggles to trust Ethan's intentions. Memories of the dismissive smirk Ethan wore years ago during their pitch meeting linger in his mind. Liam consults Sarah and Marcos, whose businesses have flourished thanks to his platform. Both encourage him to consider the collaboration, but warn him to establish firm boundaries to protect his values. Meanwhile, Ethan experiences his own doubts. As he reflects on his career, he begins to see how his singular focus on profits has eroded his relationships and his company's reputation. Clara, ever perceptive, advises him to take concrete steps to rebuild trust. If you're serious about this partnership, you need to show Liam and yourself that you've truly changed, she says. Ethan takes her advice to heart. He attends one of Liam's workshops unannounced, sitting quietly in the back as Liam guides a group of young entrepreneurs through the basics of business planning. Watching Liam in action, Ethan feels a mix of admiration and guilt. He realizes that Liam's platform isn't just a tool, it's a lifeline for people who've been overlooked, much like Liam himself. Later that evening, Ethan approaches Liam again, this time with a more personal appeal. "I don't just want to partner with you," he says. "I want to learn from you. What you've built, how you've built it, shows me everything I've been doing wrong." Liam, though still wary, is struck by the sincerity in Ethan's tone. For the first time, he sees a man who is genuinely trying to change. The partnership begins cautiously, with both men working to find common ground. They launch a pilot program that pairs small business owners with mentors and provides microgrants to help fund their ventures. Liam insists on transparency and direct involvement with the participants, ensuring the program stays true to his vision. Ethan, meanwhile, leverages Marshall and Company's resources to secure funding and media coverage. The pilot program quickly gains traction, drawing attention from community leaders and investors. At a press event, Sarah and Marcos speak about how the platform transformed their lives, their heartfelt testimonials moving the audience to tears. Ethan watches from the sidelines, his usual stoicism replaced by a quiet sense of pride. For the first time, he feels connected to something larger than himself. As the partnership deepens, Liam begins to see glimpses of Ethan's humanity. During a late-night brainstorming session, Ethan shares a rare personal anecdote about his father, a small business owner who struggled to keep his shop afloat. "I guess I've spent my whole life trying to prove I could do better," Ethan admits, his voice tinged with regret. Liam responds with a small but genuine nod of understanding. However, their collaboration is not without challenges. A rival corporation, seeing the program's success, begins spreading misinformation, claiming that the initiative is a publicity stunt for Marshall and Company. The rumors threaten to undermine their efforts, creating tension between Liam and Ethan. Liam accuses Ethan of not taking the threat seriously, while Ethan struggles to balance his responsibilities to the company and the program. The rumors about their partnership escalate, reaching the media and even some of Liam's closest clients. The negative press begins to overshadow the pilot program's success, creating friction between Liam and Ethan. Liam feels betrayed, questioning whether he's made the right decision in trusting Ethan. One evening, as tension between them grows, Ethan calls Liam for a face-to-face meeting. "I don't know how to fix this," he admits. "But I need you to know I'm trying. This matters to me more than my career ever has." Liam, torn between his loyalty to his mission and his growing frustration with Ethan's corporate baggage, takes a deep breath. "I can't do this if it's just about saving your company's image. This has to be about people, about small businesses, about real change." Ethan, humbled by Liam's words, agrees to take immediate action. He calls a press conference, confronting the rumors head-on and announcing that the partnership with Liam will remain, emphasizing the long-term vision for supporting small businesses, not just the bottom line. The press conference is a turning point. The media, initially skeptical, begin to take a more positive view of the initiative. Ethan's sincerity, paired with Liam's unwavering commitment to his cause, shifts public perception. But not all of their challenges are solved yet. A major competitor, a multi-billion-dollar tech corporation, offers to buy out the program entirely, tempting both men with financial security. The pressure mounts, and Liam is forced to make a life-altering decision: stay true to his vision, or sell out for the promise of wealth. He spends sleepless nights contemplating the offer, knowing it could change everything. Not just for him, but for the countless small businesses he's helped. Meanwhile, Ethan grapples with his own identity crisis. He's not the same man who had dismissed Liam all those years ago. But can he prove it to the world? To himself? The stakes are high, as both men face crossroads. Liam must decide whether to accept the offer and risk losing his mission, or continue his fight to protect what he's built. Ethan's commitment to change is tested, as he must face the hard truth that sometimes true transformation comes with great personal sacrifice. Liam stands at the crossroads of his future. The offer from the tech corporation is lucrative, beyond anything he could have imagined. It promises financial stability and a global platform for his idea. But at what cost? The corporation demands full control over his platform, and with it, the very principles that Liam has fought so hard to protect. He knows that accepting the offer could mean losing the heart of what he's built, his mission to empower small businesses. That night, Liam sits in the dimly lit library where it all began, his notebook open before him. He's surrounded by the scattered remnants of his past, the frayed gloves, the used suit he once bought from a thrift store, and the scribbled plans he'd poured his soul into. He picks up his pen, his hand trembling slightly. His thoughts race between the weight of the decision ahead and the small businesses he's helped, the flower shop, the bakery, and the others who've benefited from his platform. For a moment, he considers the offer again: financial freedom, the ability to make a real difference on a larger scale. But then, he remembers the words he wrote last New Year's Eve. "Build a life I can be proud of." Could he look back at his journey and be proud if he sold out now? His phone buzzes. It's a message from Ethan. "We need to talk. I'm worried you'll make the wrong decision." Liam stares at the message, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. Part of him wants to ignore it, to act on his own. But another part of him knows that Ethan, despite everything, has been a crucial part of his transformation. They've both come so far. The weight of the decision is too much to bear alone. Liam responds, "Let's meet." The meeting between Liam and Ethan takes place in a small cafe, tucked away from the city's frenetic pulse. Liam arrives first, his worn jacket contrasting sharply with the polished suits of the cafe's clientele. He orders coffee, his mind still racing. The weight of his decision presses on him, suffocating him with doubt. What will Ethan say? Will he understand? Ethan arrives a few minutes later, a far cry from the man who once sat with his back to the world in his corporate office. Today, he's more vulnerable, his posture slouched, his face unshaven. He takes a seat opposite Liam, the distance between them filled with unspoken words. "I'm glad you agreed to meet," Ethan says, his voice quieter than usual. "I've been thinking about what's at stake for both of us." Liam nods, feeling the tension in his chest. "I know what's at stake, Ethan. I've been offered a deal that could secure everything I've worked for, but—" He trails off, looking away for a moment. "It would mean giving up everything I've built." Ethan leans forward, his eyes earnest. "You don't have to choose between security and your values. The partnership we've formed, the program we've launched, has already changed lives. We've shown that business can be about more than just profits. I believe in this work. I believe in you." Liam's gaze drops to his coffee cup, the swirling steam rising like the confusion inside him. "You weren't always like this," he says, his voice tinged with bitterness. "A year ago you didn't care. You were only about the numbers." Ethan flinches, the words cutting deeper than he expected. But instead of retreating, he reaches out, placing a hand on the table between them. "I know, and I've regretted it every day since. I didn't understand the impact I could have, not just on businesses, but on people's lives. You opened my eyes to that." Liam looks up, his eyes searching Ethan's face for any sign of sincerity. What he sees is not the cold, calculating businessman he once knew, but someone who's genuinely trying to change. "I can't make this decision for you," Ethan continues, "but I can promise that if you reject the buyout and stay true to your vision, we'll support you. Together, we can make your platform stronger, and we can bring real change to the industry." Liam is silent for a long moment, weighing the words that hang in the air. Ethan's offer is more than just about business. It's about trust, about a new beginning. Liam feels a flicker of hope, something he hasn't allowed himself to feel in a long time. The cafe around them buzzes with noise, but for Liam, time seems to slow. This is the moment that will define everything, a chance to stay true to his resolution, to build a future he can be proud of. "I won't sell out," Liam says finally, his voice steady. "I didn't come this far to give up now." Ethan's face breaks into a smile, relief washing over him. "Then let's do this the right way, together." The following weeks are a whirlwind of activity for both Liam and Ethan. Their newfound partnership ignites a wave of optimism, with media coverage of their small business initiative flooding in. The pilot program grows exponentially, attracting the attention of influential community leaders and entrepreneurs. Ethan works tirelessly, using Marshall and Company's resources to expand the program's reach, while ensuring that Liam remains at the helm, overseeing its core values. Liam, now fully immersed in his role as both visionary and leader, is finally able to bring his dreams to life. He starts traveling the country, meeting with small business owners, hearing their struggles, and offering tailored support. He's no longer just an entrepreneur. He's a mentor, a lifeline to those who are often overlooked by bigger companies like Marshall and Company. However, as the program continues to gain traction, so does the pressure. A rival corporation, which had been eyeing the success of Liam's platform, launches a campaign to discredit his business. They spread rumors that Liam's platform is nothing more than a fleeting trend, a well-intentioned but ultimately unsustainable venture. The rumors spread like wildfire, especially among investors who are now questioning the viability of Liam's business model. The weight of these attacks presses down on Liam, but this time, he doesn't retreat. He's learned from his past failures that resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about moving forward, no matter the odds. He holds a press conference, where he addresses the rumors head-on. Standing before a crowd of reporters and journalists, he calmly explains how his platform has consistently helped small businesses thrive. He showcases success stories, like Sarah's flower shop, which has tripled its revenue, and Marcos's food truck, which now has a loyal customer base. He speaks from the heart, emphasizing the core mission of his work: to empower entrepreneurs who would otherwise be forgotten. Liam's speech is met with overwhelming support. The press conference goes viral, with social media buzzing with messages of solidarity. Investors who had once wavered now return, bolstered by Liam's unwavering dedication. Ethan watches from the sidelines, pride swelling in his chest. He's seen firsthand the impact Liam's platform has had on countless lives, and he knows this is only the beginning. But even as Liam's business rebounds, Ethan faces his own set of challenges. A large board meeting at Marshall and Company threatens to derail everything they've worked for. In the meeting, the board members demand faster returns and higher profits, pressing Ethan to focus on short-term gains rather than long-term sustainability. Their pushback grows increasingly forceful, with some questioning his leadership and the value of his partnership with Liam. Ethan knows that if he doesn't make a decision soon, the company's direction could shift away from everything he's worked for. Despite the pressure, Ethan remains resolute. He stands up, his voice steady. "I'm committed to this partnership. We're doing something that matters, something bigger than profits. If that means taking longer to see returns, so be it." The room falls silent as the board members exchange uneasy glances. But Ethan holds his ground, refusing to compromise his values for the sake of corporate expediency. It's a pivotal moment in his transformation, one where he chooses to prioritize what's right over what's easy. The boardroom at Marshall and Company is tense, but Ethan's declaration hangs in the air like a declaration of independence. The room is filled with uncertainty, but Ethan's stance is clear. He won't bow to pressure. The executives exchange nervous glances, but none challenge him. After a long silence, one of the senior board members speaks. "We'll back your decision, Ethan. But remember, the clock is ticking. The decision is made. Marshall and Company won't pull out of the partnership. Instead, they will invest further, but with an understanding that Ethan's leadership will shift focus. He will balance the needs of the small business initiative with the demands of the corporate world, ensuring neither side is neglected." Meanwhile, Liam is in a conference room across town, preparing for the most critical meeting of his life. Investors from all corners of the globe have gathered to see firsthand the success of his platform. They're skeptical, some believing it's just a passing trend, others questioning its long-term sustainability. But Liam is prepared. He's spent months refining his pitch, drawing from the lessons he's learned from years of struggle. When it's his turn to speak, he begins not with numbers, but with stories. He tells the investors about Sarah, the flower shop owner whose business was saved thanks to his platform. He speaks of Marcos, the young food truck owner, who went from scraping by to having a bustling business, all because someone believed in him. He talks about the hundreds of other small business owners he's helped, giving them the tools to succeed when no one else would. Liam's words resonate deeply. The room grows quiet as he speaks, each investor listening intently, moved by the sincerity and passion behind his message. He finishes his pitch with a simple but powerful statement. "This isn't just about making money, it's about changing lives." The silence that follows is heavy with emotion, and slowly, one by one, investors begin nodding in approval. The deal is struck. Liam's platform will expand exponentially, with the backing of some of the world's most influential investors. But it's not just the financial support that he's gained. It's the validation of his vision. Outside the building, Ethan is waiting for him. He's learned from the best: resilience, authenticity, and vision. The two men exchange a brief but significant glance. Their partnership has been tested in ways neither could have imagined. But in this moment, they stand side by side, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. I couldn't have done it without you, Liam says, his voice filled with gratitude. Ethan smiles, a genuine warmth in his expression. No, Liam, it was all you. I just helped make it possible. Together, they look out at the skyline, a symbol of everything they've accomplished, and the road still ahead. As the sun begins to set, a sense of quiet triumph settles over them. They've defied the odds, not just to succeed, but to redefine success itself. And as the year closes, they know that their work is far from over. This is just the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter built on hope, resilience, and the power of second chances. The boardroom at Marshall and Company is tense, but Ethan's declaration hangs in the air like a declaration of independence. The room is filled with uncertainty, but Ethan's stance is clear. He won't bow to pressure. The executives exchange nervous glances, but none challenge him. After a long silence, one of the senior board members speaks. "We'll back your decision, Ethan. But remember, the clock is ticking. The decision is made. Marshall and Company won't pull out of the partnership. Instead, they will invest further, but with an understanding that Ethan's leadership will shift focus. He will balance the needs of the small business initiative with the demands of the corporate world, ensuring neither side is neglected. Meanwhile, Liam is in a conference room across town, preparing for the most critical meeting of his life. Investors from all corners of the globe have gathered to see firsthand the success of his platform. They're skeptical, some believing it's just a passing trend, others questioning its long-term sustainability. But Liam is prepared. He spent months refining his pitch, drawing from the lessons he's learned from years of struggle. When it's his turn to speak, he begins not with numbers, but with stories. He tells the investors about Sarah, the flower shop owner whose business was saved thanks to his platform. He speaks of Marcos, the young food truck owner, who went from scraping by to having a bustling business, all because someone believed in him. He talks about the hundreds of other small business owners he's helped, giving them the tools to succeed when no one else would. Liam's words resonate deeply. The room grows quiet as he speaks, each investor listening intently, moved by the sincerity and passion behind his message. He finishes his pitch with a simple but powerful statement. This isn't just about making money, it's about changing lives. The silence that follows is heavy with emotion, and slowly, one by one, investors begin nodding in approval. The deal is struck. Liam's platform will expand exponentially, with the backing of some of the world's most influential investors. But it's not just the financial support that he's gained. It's the validation of his vision. Outside the building, Ethan is waiting for him. He's learned from the best: resilience, authenticity, and vision. The two men exchange a brief but significant glance. Their partnership has been tested in ways neither could have imagined. But in this moment, they stand side by side, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. I couldn't have done it without you, Liam says, his voice filled with gratitude. Ethan smiles, a genuine warmth in his expression. No, Liam, it was all you. I just helped make it possible. Together, they look out at the skyline, a symbol of everything they've accomplished, and the road still ahead. As the sun begins to set, a sense of quiet triumph settles over them. They've defied the odds, not just to succeed, but to redefine success itself. And as the year closes, they know that their work is far from over. This is just the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter built on hope, resilience, and the power of second chances. With the deal signed and the partnership solidified, both Liam and Ethan are thrust into the whirlwind of expansion. Marshall and Company provides the resources to take Liam's platform global, while Liam's vision brings a new sense of purpose to Ethan's leadership. Together, they begin to build a network of mentorship programs, offering entrepreneurs a chance to grow, thrive, and access the resources they once lacked. Yet, Despite their success, both men face personal challenges. Ethan finds himself struggling to maintain a balance between his newfound commitment to small businesses and his responsibilities at Marshall and Company. As the company grows, old habits creep back in, profit-driven decisions that threaten to derail their progress. Liam, on the other hand, is finding it harder to maintain his sense of humility as his platform garners more attention. He's become a symbol of hope for so many, but the pressure to keep up the momentum is mounting. With each new success, his fear of losing everything again grows louder. In quiet moments, both men reflect on their journeys, remembering how far they've come and realizing that the true challenge isn't success, it's staying grounded through it all. The cracks in their partnership begin to show as tension builds between Ethan and Liam. Ethan feels the weight of the corporate world pulling him back, and his old tendencies resurface. Short-term goals that prioritize profit over people. One evening, he proposes a decision that would funnel more funds into a high-profile marketing campaign, sidelining some of the community outreach programs that Liam fought so hard for. Liam, though grateful for the opportunities, grows increasingly frustrated with Ethan's corporate-driven mindset. They have their first major argument in months. The disagreement is heated, with Liam accusing Ethan of betraying the principles that had brought them together in the first place. Ethan deflects, suggesting that they need to think strategically to scale their impact. In the days following the confrontation, both men cool off. Ethan seeks advice from Clara, and Liam finds solace in the quiet of the public library, once again using his notebook as a grounding tool. He realizes that the true mission of their work isn't about making money or gaining recognition. It's about the people they are helping. The next day, Ethan approaches Liam, offering a heartfelt apology. They agree to refocus on the mission at hand. Liam and Ethan begin to rebuild their partnership, starting with a renewed focus on the community programs that had first inspired them. They roll back some of the corporate-driven marketing plans, instead channeling resources into mentoring and small business grants. Ethan works more closely with the businesses that Liam has helped, and he's surprised by the genuine connections he forms with these entrepreneurs, whose lives he now understands on a much deeper level. Meanwhile, Liam grows more confident in his ability to lead. He hires a full-time team of developers, all of whom have faced hardships similar to his own. Together, they refine the platform, making it more accessible and effective for small businesses. Liam's vision is clearer now, and he knows that success isn't measured by money. It's measured by the lives they touch and the lasting impact they leave behind. Their collaborative efforts culminate in a large-scale community event, one that brings together business owners, mentors, and clients who have all benefited from the platform. Ethan stands beside Liam as they unveil a new initiative to provide free digital resources to underserved communities. The room is filled with applause, and for the first time, Ethan feels proud of the work they've done. As the event wraps up, Liam reflects on the incredible transformation he's experienced over the past year. He's no longer the man sitting alone on a park bench, filled with despair and uncertainty. He's built something meaningful, something that is changing lives. Ethan, too, feels the weight of this moment. His journey from a driven, profit-focused CEO to someone who understands the true value of community and collaboration is not lost on him. He looks at Liam with genuine respect, something that was absent in their first encounter. The partnership has not only reshaped their professional paths, but also their personal outlooks. They've proven that success isn't just about financial gain. It's about using one's power and resources to lift others up. The challenges that remain are nothing compared to the ones they've already overcome. Together, they've created a legacy that will continue long after they've moved on to new endeavors. As the crowd disperses, Liam stands outside, watching the sunset. His phone buzzes with messages of thanks from clients and supporters. A year ago, he had nothing. Today, he has everything he ever hoped for, and more.